Hello, welcome to my channel. I know I feel like I have been just plain hooky again. These energies have just been so high and so intensified that even for me, there are days where I'm anchoring extreme amounts of light, and I just can't do any more than I'm already doing. So I have to put off some things, and in order to support my work, um, I can't make as many videos, so I apologize for that. But I did want to come in today with an energy update for you and share with you what is going on in the solar system, because there is so much taking place. So those of you that follow me know that I really wasn't in alignment with the information that other people were bringing through about the event that was supposedly going to happen with a solar flash on December 21st. That never felt aligned for me, because I have always felt that we're all on our own unique and individual timelines going through this ascension process, and then as a collective consciousness going through the awakening state. Um, so it was a really beautiful transition, a transitory state of being, and higher light influxes coming in, which can make it very interesting, working, living, and sleeping in these higher light energies, these frequencies that we have coming through. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. The new year brought a huge shift with it. This is 2021. We are in a 5-year, which is all about change. Next year, we're coming into a 6-year, which is going to be about love, harmony, unity, community, that type of stuff, right? But now we're in a 5-year of change, so we're having a lot of restructuring that's going to be taking place. And these energies are going to push to that, especially because they've been so powerful in that alignment that we had with Saturn and the other planets lining up. Um, so what we are experiencing now is mega influxes of solar everything. If you look at the sun first thing in the morning, very, very early, or you look at the sun in the afternoon, well, actually, it's probably happening throughout the day now. I just don't get out too much when I'm working, but it should be undulating, like almost like a belly dance, and you'll see the sun pulsing. That is the solar flashing. It's been taking place for years now. This is not something new. This is happening for a very, very long time. So that solar flashing, and then when we have uh, geomagnetic storms, or we have solar flares or solar winds or anything solar, the solar anything creates headaches, migraines. It's all going into consciousness expanding the pituitary gland, the crown area that is going into its expansion. Okay, so if you're finding yourself feeling headachy, it is really about expansion, and the body requires rest in order for um, that to just align and integrate its light codes that are coming in. We're receiving more influxes of the freedom codes, even more intense than ever. Those started July 4th, 2019, and revelation codes started a few weeks back, and those are super strong right now as we're coming into the most intensified state for the revelation period, self awakening, self realizations, aha moments, all kinds of things like that. So we're going to really see that light up over the course of these next few weeks. Then we have crystalline light frequency coming in. That light frequency is really what gives us access to our multidimensional body. So it amplifies our field and allows us to tune in on a multidimensional level. Then we have plasma light frequency, which is based in water, water in the body. It interacts with that, which is why we can have digestive issues, and we feel our stomach gurgling, and sometimes, it can be very, very uncomfortable. It also creates expansion when we heat up from the inside out and our body heats up and we go into an expanded state of consciousness. And then in likewise, we also have an ability to become super cold, chilled to the bone, where you just can't get warm no matter what you do. And that coldness is representing the contraction or withdrawal within, which is like a cocooning phase, so that we can go back into expansion again. So it never ends. It goes back and forth, right? We're constantly going back and forth between cocooning and then coming back out into expansion again, where we're recognizing ourselves having maybe a heightened state of consciousness. And so then with those energies, we have gamma, which is working the nervous system, which is why everybody is feeling so intensified right now. It's also working the immune system, those that are allowing it to work in the immune system, and are not taking anything to diffuse that, because again, we could take substances to maybe what we think is elevate our consciousness, right? I see this all the time, people taking certain substances, and it's really not allowing us to get into the higher states. What it does is it opens a pathway into 4D. But 4D has many levels to it. So we have to be careful with things like that. I'm not saying don't do it, because for some of you, it's the only way. But if you don't have to, and you're doing it merely for recreational purposes, allow yourself to clear out from that, clear your body out from that, so you can navigate these higher light frequencies without any distortion in your field. Even food can be a distortion when we're eating too much processed carbohydrates that will kind of junk up our system and make our field much more dense. Light can't get through. So we are not holding the highest quotient of light and will not have the higher aligned experiences. All of that is very, very important. Of course, for the plasma energy, drinking a lot of water and staying hydrated is very, very necessary. Okay. So again, the gamma works the nervous system and the immune system, and it actually feels like electrical stim, especially in your arms and your legs. Mostly feel it when you're sleeping at night, laying in your bed. And then photonic light is living consciousness light, and we go into expansion and can feel like we have a pregnant belly, because the gases blow up internally as that living light is bending distortion in our field, so that the plasma light can come in like a roto-rooter and clean it out. And if you want more information on this, I have a blog post on my website from, I think, about a year and a half ago, called Navigating Your Energy Body, that speaks to all of this. I'll try to remember to post it underneath this video. But these are the energies that are coming in right now, and it's what we're experiencing, these crystalline plasma influxes of light that are very highly intensified and can make us feel extremely uncomfortable. But it's also what brings truth to the surface, so that the darkness can't hide in the light anymore, and it has to be exposed at some point. So that's what's playing out right now. We are in a pathway or stargate of revelatory information coming up. Things as we know it are about to change. And I think by the end of the month, we will probably have a good idea of where everything is heading. Try to let go and not hold fear toward what is playing out. Try to not take a side in anything that is playing out, because taking sides is again about the game of separation. We want to be on the highest timeline that is available to us and just watch as an observer everything that is unfolding, and try not to get emotionally invested in anything. Because we want to be in a state of divine neutrality, so that we're creating the highest experience for ourselves. The reason I keep bringing this to attention, and you will hear me say it over and over again, no matter what we're talking about, is because we're creating the experience in this reality by our thoughts, our words, and our actions. So if you tune into something that you perceive is, in ill against you, that you're not happy about, and your perception is that, you're going to create things that are aligned with that perception. Whereas if you're not holding a perception and you're just looking at it and you're not taking it in as impacting you, then your experience is going to be so much bigger, because you're not going to be creating your reality from that perception, which could be a false perception or a false belief that is, just presenting an opportunity for you to shift more so that you could see where contrast is, right? Everything is here to help us. It's our job to see what is presenting, and the nature of it, so that we could determine where we want to reside with what is playing out within our reality. Um, that's something that's super important. A couple of weeks ago, I had an experience where I was, speaking some higher level information to my friend who was walking into Target with me. And I was in these higher level states of consciousness that I didn't even realize that we were still wearing masks. And so I entered Target without the mask, unlike other times where I tried to enter and they chased me down to make me put it on. This time I entered without an awareness that I didn't even have my mask on, that we were still in the midst of COVID, until I had completed what I was saying. I had already engaged in pushing the wagon into the store. Not one person approached me, not one person looked at me sideways. And it wasn't until I came back into my awareness and I looked around and saw everybody wearing masks. And then in that moment, I realized I'm not wearing a mask. And then it was when I shifted back into reality, and all of that came flooding in, right? And then the looks came and all of that sort of stuff. But in that first few minutes, I was creating the reality where I didn't have to wear a mask. And the reality that I was navigating said nobody cared, right? And the only reason somebody cared is because I create that in my reality. So we have to be careful what we're creating in our reality at all times, not just that time, right? I have seen people that I know that show up one way one time, because I'm not holding any kind of expectation, and the next time I see them in my reality, they show up a completely different way, unexpected. And it's because maybe I was engaged in something earlier that triggered my thinking about that dynamic, and then holding it to what was manifesting in my reality, that person shows up participating in that observation that I made that I didn't even realize that I was holding in my field, right? Things like that. So we have to be conscious of what it is that we're creating in each moment, because that's going to be the experience that shows up for us in everything that we do. All right. So it's really important for us to be very, very present. We are having these stop moments on the earth where, I don't know if you've been feeling it. It's been happening for a while. I want to say I've been feeling it since April, where Gaia just comes to complete stop, and it just, you could feel it. It's not something you hear, you feel it in your body. And it brings us into a state of divine neutrality, where it just completely allows us to tune in. And it's almost like time stops, everything stops. So that if you feel those, just tune into those. And the more we can tune into those, the more we're feeling into those higher timelines, those higher states of being. And I will tell you that before Christmas, I was posting that Christmas music, Christmas anything. And I think I started posting that back in October. That Christmas everything was the 5D timeline. And now that Christmas has passed, what I've noticed is we've shifted to the feeling of spring. And for me, it's so intense. I feel spring everything. Spring just feels so amazing. All day today, each client session I had, I just was in the flow of spring, feeling spring. It just felt so good to feel spring. And even though it's still winter and it's only what, January 4th or something, right? Um, it just feels like spring to me. It feels like we should all be outside in tank tops and shorts or skirts and whatnot. And it just feels so good. So if you are tuned into spring and the feeling of spring, that is the alignment to the 5D timeline. Okay. So keep feeling into that. If you're in your creator states, you're definitely going to anchor into that 5D state of being. I just want to give a shout out to all of the participants in my Wednesday night gathering. They are all amazing beings. If you happen to encounter one of them, you are fortunate, because they are high vibrational, amazing, amazing beings. And it is so much fun to watch them tuning into their creator states and how they are connecting to their own innate creativity that is being brought forth by these higher frequencies, these higher light frequencies. So I'm seeing it, playing out for each one of them as they're experiencing these higher timelines. So if you haven't tuned in yet to your higher creator state, please start tuning in and feeling for the feelings of May. And to help you anchor into that, do something creative, whether you're painting or you're dancing or you're playing music or you're singing or you're coloring in a coloring book or you're journaling in a bullet journal, whatever it is for you that pulls you in creative states, pottery, jewelry making, um, whatever, if you're a guy and for you, creator states is building a new exhaust system on your car, that's creator states. Anything that is getting you in that flow of excitement, that is filling your field, that is lighting your field, that's amplifying your field, that's where you want to head to. That is what is most important right now. All right. So stay tuned in, make time to go within, unplug from everything around you, and go within, sit in counsel with yourself, and see when you are being challenged to let go of a 3D timeline, a 3D paradigm, a 3D construct that is no longer serving your highest good. Okay. Allow yourself to see when you are connected in and tuned into your higher states, to your higher self, so that you can access and bring through more of that. All right. If you have already connected with your higher self, it's very important for you to continue to anchor in that higher self state of being. So you'll want to work with that on a day-to-day basis. All right. Very, very important. So I think this is where I'm going to end for today. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in. Last year was such an amazing year for me. I'm so grateful to all of you. I hit 500 on my subscriber status on my YouTube channel, so that was pretty exciting for me. And hopefully this year will be even better with subscribership as things get straightened out with the social media platforms all over the place. They need to be restructured so that we can speak our truth always and stand in our light and our power. Self-empowerment, self-nurturing, self-love is all so important, right? So thank you again. I love every single one of you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for tuning into my channel. When you share, it means so much to me because you're helping me get that information out there that is needed by others. When you contribute to my channel, to my work, via either donations or even art supplies, I have some links down below for you for that. Thank you for those of you that are asking me about contributing. Really means a lot to me. You have no idea. This work is a labor of love. I bring a lot of content through all of my sharings. I try to get out as much as possible, but when I can't and you don't see me being visible, it's because I'm actually physically anchoring light through my physical being for the purpose of ascension. And sometimes that work makes it impossible for me to come online and do an energy update or write. So it's not that I disappear because I don't want to be here. It's that I disappear because it's just not possible. It takes a lot of energy on my part, and it requires a lot of downtime and a lot of going within so that I can sit within these energies. Another thing that's coming to me before we leave is, so a lot of you might have been experiencing pain in your jaw, your teeth, your bones, teeth, bones, programming, lots and lots of programming leaving the body. Bones hold the oldest programs, and also phlegm. Phlegm has resurfaced again. I haven't seen phlegm in probably about 2 years, but phlegm has resurfaced again. So if you're bringing up a lot of phlegm, if you're waking up from dream state with phlegm, just know that phlegm is how programming travels out of the body. It travels out of the body in phlegm. So just, you know, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, nurture yourself, love yourself through. We're experiencing things that, you know, nobody could have predicted. Nobody has an idea really of, except for those that are doing the grid work and the gatekeeping work, because they are anchoring the light codes through the solar system into Gaia. All stargates are open now. These influxes of light are going to intensify as it is creating an opportunity for more and more to wake up on the earth plane. So please, please stay in your work, keep doing your work. Know that I love you so much. Thank you for all of your support when you share, when you like my videos, when you subscribe to my channels. It really means so much to me. I am so grateful. So please have a wonderful, whatever it is that you're doing at this moment. Know that I love you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye-bye.